Right now we're in downtown National City. We're at the intersection of 7th Street and Roosevelt Avenue.
Steve Manganello is an engineer and director of public works for the city of National City. We're standing next to a big vacant lot surrounded by chain link fencing. The city hopes a developer will turn this land into high density housing.
The goal is to encourage smart growth redevelopment, and really what that entails is if you're going to encourage high density, the only way to accommodate that without completely oversaturating transportation network with cars is to provide amenities other than driving.
City officials want to beautify Roosevelt Avenue with wider sidewalks, better street lighting and landscaping, and bike lanes that lead to a nearby trolley station.
There's a great opportunity through infrastructure enhancements to kind of lay that groundwork so that there's a good foundation for developers to come in and then build vertical.
National City plans to make these improvements with the help of about $2 million from SANDAG, the Regional Transportation Planning Agency. The money comes from a competitive grant program meant to encourage smart growth, biking, and walking. It's funded by Transnet, the local half-cent sales tax extended by voters in 2004. National City is recommended for more of this grant money than any other city in the county, even more than the city of San Diego, which has more than 20 times National City's population. Manganello is thrilled.
The reality is we don't have a lot of funding available to do new projects, so we rely heavily on these competitive grant programs. So the fact that we're being recommended for, I think, almost $7.9 million in 8 separate projects. As you mentioned, more than anyone in the county, we're absolutely thrilled, and it's going to allow us to provide some much-needed infrastructure enhancements for our community.
National City is a community that has been the victim of environmental racism and inequitable transportation planning in particular for a very long time.
Ana Castro Reynoso works for the Environmental Health Coalition, a nonprofit that's been advocating for cleaner air in National City for decades. We meet at the 24th Street trolley station, which is right next to the I-5 freeway. She says the proximity of the freeway causes a lot of problems.
So there are higher rates of asthma in National City, higher rates of obesity because of the lack of healthy food and grocery stores nearby. There's noise pollution, as you can hear, from the freeway, and that plagues the community. And these are just some of the impacts that this has.
Castro Reynoso says it's good that SANDAG is offering money to National City for better bike and pedestrian facilities, but she's not ready to let SANDAG off the hook. The agency has long-standing plans to widen the I-5 freeway with more lanes, something she says will make the city's air pollution even worse.
It offsets any benefit that you're going to have from a bike lane when you put two general purpose lanes right next to the most impacted community. One of the most impacted communities in the entire state.
Castro Reynoso is also wary of another project recommended for SANDAG grant funding. National City wants to create a transit-oriented development plan for the area around this trolley station at 24th Street. She fears taller and denser buildings could displace low-income residents and says city planners need to give those residents a meaningful say in how the plans are developed. Steve Manganello says community outreach is always a central part of National City's planning process.
And then when grant opportunities such as the Smart Growth or the Active Transportation Program come along, we're already teed up because we've done that outreach to present projects that demonstrate an ability to address the needs of the community.
The SANDAG Board of Directors is scheduled to vote on approving a portion of the grant funding next week. The rest of the funding is due for a vote by the fall. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.